Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 98 of Ranwin Park, the show where myself, Cone Dodger, Kurt J. Mac, and ZK look at car ads from around the internet. And ZK yells at Illustrator. That's. I hope you're in for more of that because that's all we're gonna hear from him for the next 56 minutes and 49 seconds.
Brought to you by Adobe.
I can't even think of. Like, I have the real version of CS6, like the actual purchased version, and I've never had any of the subscriptions. So I can't think of the most modern Adobe thing I've ever used.
Every time I cancel, they're like, do you want to continue your subscription for half the price you were just paying? So at this point, it's like $10 a month for
That's what
everything.
That's what people keep saying about Ranwin Park, too. And, like... all right, we'll keep watching, I guess. No, it sounds like the Sirius XM experience.
Yeah.
You could
You
not.
want 6 months for free? What about 9 months? 12.
Speaking of that, the owner of the Saab, the past owner of the Saab, still paying for my Sirius. When do I tell him? Like, when do I?
He might not be paying for it.
Oh, maybe not.
Like,
Yeah.
it might be one of those, again, like free for
Right.
3-year things. And
Oh.
one day it'll just stop working.
One day there'll be a bill in the mail.
I am meeting him in 2 days because he has a crate of stuff that he acquired for that car over the years that he's giving me, including lift struts that it needed that I already bought and replaced. Quantities of oil. He's got new emblems for it, like new emblems for the wheels and everything. A bunch of like random doodads that he had collected for it. I gotta say, that's the first time I've ever had a car seller give me a trinket or like a box of trinkets after the fact. But it's either that or I'm gonna get stabbed. You know, one or the other.
Yep, stab and they'll take the car back.
I actually just sent him an ad. There is one for sale, a black Arrow wagon in the same town that I got mine, but in an automatic for $3,000 less than he sold his. And I was like, if you have buyer's remorse, or I guess seller's remorse, which he really did, because apparently he bought a cheap Honda Civic after like selling his car, and it was a nightmare. Like, it just, everything was wrong with it. So,
What era Civic?
like, small headlight.
Small headlight. Okay.
All right, how about we look at some car ads? We got a time limit here. We gotta snap it together here. I'm finding some actual good deals out there, which is worrying. I don't know if that's like a good sign or a bad sign, but there's like a lot of stuff out there right now that I want, including this 1974 Ford Courier for $3,500. Runs and drives, has new tires, brakes need to be gone through, has needs a gas tank and or fuel cell and windshield. However, I've put 1,500 miles on the truck with a 6-gallon boat tank. You go. You go and do that. It's lowered 3 inches. Looks great. Drives great. Come test drive it. $3,500. And it's like an actual decent project. That's not, fully rusty. And it doesn't look like it's been modified 16,000 million times over by this point, which is pretty cool.
Title?
It has a title.
and a free dish rag
And a
under the cowl.
and a blanket for a seat. I gotta say, these are even more Spartan than the Datsun is, and I don't know how that's possible. This is about as little interior as you can physically have.
What year was it?
74.
Yeah, that's probably why.
It does need a little body work. That's some.
Quarter-inch of Bondo is fine.
You got to imagine this is like. Well, no, I was gonna say this had to be like hood hits the roof damage. If you're hearing weird noises in the background,
Just ZK fuming.
no, I'm pretty sure it is a daughter of mine that is scraping her toys against the door behind me, which is just fantastic. Um,
Dad, pay attention,
Yeah.
Dad.
I was thinking like the hood came up, but no, the hood opens the other way. So I don't know how this happened.
Bird strike.
Bird strike. Call me a Ford guy, but this is actually a Mazda, right? So it doesn't count.
Believe so.
Pretty attractive little truck. I say, I doth declare.
I do like those wheels on it.
Yeah, good looking. Good looking. Overall, I like how much it's lowered. I wouldn't go any lower than that. Sorry, ZK.
Yeah, that's not terribly far from stock, really.
It's 3 inches lower. Like that's quite a bit.
Did he? Does the ad say it was lowered?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's clean enough for my tastes. I'd love it for like a little runaround truck. I'd probably put a real gas tank in it, but you know, that's just me. And I think that's a nice, reasonable find that actually has a title.
Actually has a title, allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't know.
That should be the
Depends.
title of this episode.
Actually has a title.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right. You say you're a Ford guy, but I think you're now a Saab guy.
I like a sob story.
You like a Saab story. How about the only Saab to ever have a V8?
Oh,
Rare.
is it a
I
Trailblazer?
bring you. Yes. You know, a 2006 Saab 97X. 5.3i V8 Vortec for $7,000.
There is merit to these in that they do have slightly better interiors and they're generally cheaper because people are like, oh god, a Saab, I don't want to buy that, that's some crazy foreign car.
Well, this crazy foreign car is 4-wheel drive. They're selling to buy my wife a pickup. It has lots of upgrades.
Okay. That's a
Alright.
weird flex.
Yeah.
That is a weird flex. New tires, new exhaust, window tint, WeatherTech floor mats, and window visors.
Ooh.
Keywords: Trailblazer.
Got the
Envoy.
whole JC Whitney catalog, did we?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know these existed.
Yeah, that was like in that last dying breath of Saab.
Yes. It is
Yep.
indeed a Trailblazer
They actually,
/ Oldsmobile Bravada.
because I'm like a nerd, Trailblazers weren't bad, and this is like actually kind of the best of everything you could get on a Trailblazer. Like these are actually really good. If you wanted something like this, supposedly these are like the ones to have.
Were these? I guess the Trailblazer SS was older.
A little bit older, but kind of the same-ish generation. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's
Did these get like the weird all-wheel drive?
it did have all-wheel drive. Yeah, but it's like not special at all, really. Like, it is very much so just like a normal. There's nothing Saab about it, really.
No, yeah, it's
no.
there's
Trailblazer
no,
was
yeah, there's no weird, super
leather seats.
quirky stuff. I mean, it gets the cooler dashboard, like it gets the Saab style vents and stuff like that, and overall nicer materials. But yeah, it was certainly very much so a how do we save this company?
Was it? I don't know. That whole GM takes over Saab, and did Saab ruin it themselves, or did GM ruin it?
I
it's hard
feel
to say.
so. We've had this discussion multiple times with people that are like really into Saabs, and the way it's explained to me, oh my god, Lionheart tires, by the way, the way that GM handled Saab was General Motors would assign them a vehicle. They would say, we are going to give you this vehicle and this much money, spend that money to make it a Saab. And like, instead of Saab taking that money and trying to make something that's good, they instead took that money and tried to make something that was as weird as possible instead of something that was good. and that made their profit margins very small, and they never made GM any money, and that's what killed them. That's how
it's
it's
possible. You mean they did actually turn it into a sub?
well, yeah, essentially.
That's why we have a twin turbo V6.
Right. Instead
Impala.
of like every other division, like Pontiac would take a Monte Carlo and they would put grooves on the side, and it's a Grand Prix. They would actually like go through everything on the vehicle. Like I don't know much about these. There might be a ton of bespoke stuff on this. Who knows? Like I guarantee you, no Trailblazer has headlight washers on it.
How many of these body panels do you think are the same? None of them? Do you think the door is even the same?
I would bet the doors are the same. Everything doors back looks the same, but the front fenders are totally different. Hood's totally different.
Yeah, that's a Saab. That's a Saab hood. I know a Saab hood when I see one.
So rip Saab, but apparently
They don't
not. You know, they're making electric cars now.
Yeah, I can't remember the Chinese company that bought.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's funny that every news article is like, Saab is back. And I'm
They've
like,
been saying that for like 10 years straight.
because they're using a 20-year-old Saab chassis to make some other brand of car. Saab is back.
Are they even related? Like, are
Yeah.
they just slapping the label on it?
No, there's people
Oh.
from Saab involved.
I already forgot. Oh yeah, speaking of Saabs, a Lincoln Mark 8. It's Fagosa that has one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But this
No.
$1,000.
Yeah.
And
$1,000.
this just ran one parked. He's got a Cobra block prepped. He's got, or at least he said he was going to. He also has a first gen Cobra intake for it. And I don't know if you've been watching Tony Angelo,
Uh-huh.
but he took this basically exact thing, slapped a giant turbo on it, and blew it up.
Instantly.
And that sounds like a good time. And for $1,000,
I gotta say, I've watched that same series, and I think this might be the only project that they've tackled that he absolutely regrets.
yeah,
These
I think
these modular V8s, just like they run on money. Everything
And
about
this
them
is
is
the-
expensive.
the Intech or whatever version of it, like the hopped up. It's either 3 or 4 valve version. Like it's the spicy one.
Right. I think that's what they ended up with. Didn't they blow it up? Did they blow it up? Oh, right. The one that they got had like no oil pressure or something.
Something, yeah. It was kind of depressing because it was like he did like one burnout and
Yeah.
then it blew up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's the $400 eBay turbo kit. Maybe it's their lack of tuning and everything. But there we go. Look at it.
That's an interior you can smell, by the way.
Wow. These things are so weird looking too.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's kind of on the subject of the Saab thing of how like sometimes, you know, when they do the brand engineering, it's just like, well, yeah, obviously that's the same car. But then things like this, it's just like, how do we take the same car and just skew it in every way imaginable?
In every dimension.
Yeah.
Free transform.
Not going to find that in Illustrator.
And it's a giant coupe.
It is a giant coupe, yeah.
This is all the pictures it has.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah. I want to slap a turbo on it. Not the way Tony did it.
For 30 seconds. Don't they make a blower? I think they make a blower that goes on these.
Probably, but that sounds like a lot of money.
It's true. Superchargers
might
are better than
last.
turbos. Fight me at PAX.
I'm not gonna get into it.
Okay.
Too tired to fight.
Too tired to fight. Will you fight the urge to buy this 1989 Ford Probe?
It's
Come on.
amazing.
Come on. This paint job
Beautiful.
is a delight. This is.
I know those are the stock wheels, but those are like the saddest 5 spokes I've ever
They're
seen.
not stock wheels. Those are the de facto aftermarket 90s wheel.
Okay.
Like those
Yeah,
are
they're bad.
yeah. but they're good. Right? They're so bad they're good, right? Right?
No, they're just ugly.
If you're listening in, not watching, this is a Ford Probe in dark blue that has like purple and pink accents on all of the louvered parts of the body of a Ford Probe, and it really sells it. This is a super low miles Ford Probe, by the way.
Or
This
it's rolled
wasn't-
over.
That would have to roll over a lot.
This
In
wasn't.
super good shape,
Yeah.
like amazing shape, with all the louvers and like add-ons that you could possibly have gotten for Probe. And don't forget, Ford Probe won out versus the 240SX on Car of the Year.
Oh yeah. So this is the same engine that's in the Mazda.
Yeah, it's the
Or
2.2.
it's the Mazda engine,
Right.
but it's the same engine that was in my Mazda truck.
Right, it's
I
terrible.
think this is the 12 valve versus the 8 valve.
It's still not.
And there was a turbo version.
the turbo ones I've heard are pretty good, but the 2 point like the NA ones, not.
Nah, they're just whatever.
Yeah.
They're just an engine. It's a truck motor. It's like a 240.
Painter was Raffi at the time it was painted in January of 1991.
Is that his title? Raffi at the time.
Like, what is he now?
I don't know. Custom paint by House of Colors, and also original House of Colors paint. All right. I don't know. I don't know if that adds to the appeal or not, but
I don't, because House of Colors is a brand that makes
Yeah.
paint, but I don't think they actually paint things.
here's your vice grip test. Yeah, this car's low miles. Like that seat
Yeah.
is mint. The
is a
pedals
brand
have
new car.
nowhere. Somebody put a lot of money into this paint job, and then we're like, I can't drive this. This is too nice. And it's Ford Probe
Ford Probe.
base
I
model.
went 10 grand for it.
10 grand.
But in a museum.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a really quirky 80s, 90s museum, maybe. Put Kurt in that museum too.
Yeah, yeah. Wax Museum. I don't remember what I have next, so I'm just going to click the button. Oh, yeah, super rare. Another super rare. A 1981 Volkswagen Puma.
Hume.
It's not a Puma.
I was going to say the same thing.
GTC super rare, $6,500. A Brazilian production vehicle, of which they claim only 610 units were produced in 1981. This is not a kit car. Built on the
Right.
Carmen Ghia, the Puma is a solid fiberglass body, not unlike every kit car. All Volkswagen motor, everything needed to restore this vehicle is available through Purring Puma in San Diego. So don't worry, parts are available.
I know of Pumas.
You know of Pumas?
I do know of Pumas, and
I
I
had to
do
look it up.
think they are kind of neat. Carmen Ghia stuff is generally cooler than Bug stuff fighting at PAX. I mean, it's just a chassis that works better for sports cars. What's the shark fin for, possibly?
I don't know. They have an extra steering wheel in the back, I think. What am I looking at?
That does look like an extra steering wheel.
I mean, I think it's kind of handsome.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's got kind of that like 914.
Yeah, it's a little bit 914, a little bit like MG. Yeah, a little bit Triumph. It's a little bit a lot of things, but
A little bit of a lot of things.
It kind of
I-
works.
I found like the history here, but I guess Puma made them in Brazil for some sort of race
oh, like a spec series.
Yeah, a spec series or something like that.
But what about that Toyota Solara?
You're the worst.
See, now these are good wheels.
Okay, so hear me out, Powers. This is a rear-engined, long chassis coupe from Brazil. Essentially, this is a Willys Interlagos on a much easier budget. So, just throwing that option out for you. I like the nose shape. Like, I really like the whole nose structure. Kind of falls apart in the back.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's got like a good front and a good rear, but the middle transition between the two doesn't work that well.
The front
Wheels on
shot
backwards.
really looks like the it really looks like that, like whatever's Type L nose for the Z. You know, the
I think
big
I know.
Oh, yeah.
broad nose.
They call it the goose nose or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. They call it something. Yeah.
Untitled goose nose.
Untitled goose. This car might have been yellow or red at some point.
It's not a kit car, but it sure has all of the genes of a kit car.
Don't worry about those wires. It's
Just
fine.
just wires spread everywhere. Raw fiberglass, unfinished panels. Yep, definitely not a kit car. Nope.
Wow. That's the.
It's not a kit car. It's coach built.
Right. Sure. Oh, hey, engine.
There's an
Hi.
engine for you.
Hello.
So it doesn't belong in it, right? Does it have an engine?
It's judging by the hike of the rear, I'm gonna say that that's the
Yeah,
engine for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. I don't know what the ad said. So many pictures.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, I don't think it says that they're
No.
joined. I'm gonna say not. I'm gonna say this is a
For
project that
$6,500, I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
Not included.
well,
Beep boop 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 boop
well,
boop boop.
it could be for
Puma.
somebody.
Okay. Speaking of for somebody, what about a 1984 Toyota Supra?
Just
This
move
is a
along.
nice project car.
Just move along.
Why?
Stop picking the scab. Let it heal.
But it's $2,500 in Atlanta. It's a
It's-
complete car.
it's not an 85.
130,000.
Has to be an
Not
85.
Motor spins over, doesn't start. Sat for about a year before parked. Good body except for the rear hatch shattered. No body damage or rust. Interior needs some work. Picks clean. Title in hand.
Nope. Not an 85.
Not an 85.
Not an 85. Has to be an 85. I'm still on the fence on, like, you know how it has this weird spoiler that, like, it's like a roof spoiler?
Roof spoiler, yeah.
And the one that I restored was like the kind that had the little tiny roof spoiler and the back spoiler. I like that one, but I would love to have them both. Like, I would love to have the best of both, where it has the big, like, whale tail and the big roof spoiler.
Only 134,000 miles. Did you see? Look at all the lack of rust.
This one's a lot rougher as far as, like, the interior
Everything.
stuff. Yeah, like, it's
Yeah, everything is unplugged.
yeah. At least that one was like all assembled when we got a hold of it.
I wonder what happened to the rear window.
Ooh,
It's
yummy.
been sitting for a year.
A year, huh?
With the hood open under a tree.
But wait, what about a 1988 Toyota Supra for $2,900 in Atlanta? This rare project car doesn't need much. to
Wait
get
a
back on the
minute.
road. Spins over and will start with starting fluid. 271,000 miles.
Something seems familiar
motor
in
and
the
tranny.
background here.
Parked has sat for about 1 year. Good except for body damp, and hatch glass has broken.
Wait a minute.
Has started to no rust interior. Needs engine clear title in hand.
Did they like piss somebody off? What happened here?
Yeah, I don't know why he has two Supras
Oh,
with
shit.
broken.
That one.
That one,
I
yeah.
think maybe like the same tree fell on both of them.
Yeah. That's a cave in there.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
This is such a weird car for me because growing up, this was the generation of Supra I really loved. And then as soon as the Mark II happened, I completely fell out of love with these. Like, I couldn't care any less about the Mark IIIs now. Ugh.
There's your 7M.
Why is everything this person owns like this?
Why do you have two?
Look at this Lucas Oil bottle. It's disintegrated.
It's structural.
I just don't understand how. I guess maybe if a tree fell on both of them because they were parked together, but this also looks like an apartments,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And these have sat for a year.
That ain't a
don't know.
year.
Maybe I don't know. This looks like an apartment or something.
Yeah.
Atlanta does have some elevation, but I don't know. This is weird.
It is odd. It is odd. I mean, at least they kind of tried to cover it up.
Yeah, they like put one trash bag over it a year ago, and then just was like, "Yeah, that'll do."
The wiper hold it down.
Yeah.
I guess these are good parts cars, maybe. I don't.
They're both restorable. I even though
That
I
one
don't
might
love
be
them,
smushed a bit.
the
but-
Gen 3 is still a pretty valuable platform. Way more valuable than the 2. Speaking of valuable, 1978 Reliant Scimitar GTEs are reliable.
Scimitar.
I don't know what this is.
I don't. I want it. I don't know
yeah.
anything about it. It's glorious.
It's like somebody took that Volvo that you guys like, the yes,
1800D.
yeah, what that one, and then French Italianed it up. And that's about the most I can
You're
say.
talking my language.
It's also in.
Ugh. Still.
It's in like this metallic green with
Yeah, this
just
horrible like jade color.
yeah, and then just the purest bear cow skin brown interior. Which is
Scimitar.
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 I mean, that is
I mean,
a
it's
very...
probably scimitar, but scimitar. I like it.
Yeah, the hatch is just the glass, so it is the same.
Yeah, it's very similar in the back, especially. The front is attractive, actually, from just the front, from like the quarter. It's pretty
What does that look
awkward.
like? That looks like a car, like the front.
I hope it looks like a car.
Well, you know, officer, it looked like a car. Another like European like
Is that a?
Ford or something like that.
I thought at first it was a V4, but I think
Yeah.
it's a V6. I think it's like a Buick V6 or something like that. We can read the ad probably for some detail. No, actually, I remember now that the ad was worthless.
A 3-liter Ford Essex V6.
Yeah. Okay, that makes
Oh,
sense.
okay. So there's parts for it.
Yeah.
At least that part of it.
It's also quote unquote mid-engined because the engine's like
Yeah.
behind the front axle.
They have a space for the spare tire in front of the engine.
It's like the opposite of a Brad.
Yeah.
It is unfortunately an automatic.
Oh.
So, hate to
I'm sure a
disappoint.
T5 would bolt up. To it.
Yeah, easy peasy. Gosh, this interior though.
It's so good.
It's so brown. Definitely a weird find.
That's
Oh, and it actually does have back seats.
It does have
Bucket
back seats with pretty good room too. Maybe not current
Yeah,
room, but like
This
room.
looks small, but now I'm having weird. Vertigo is not the right word, but I can't quite tell the scale of this.
It's I think it's just very long, like very very long. Lots of random like detailed pictures of like the
What
gauge
is
cluster and
M
stuff.
and W, M and M. What is the steering?
Yeah, is it M and W or is it like is it W and M? How do we
Wow.
know? Wow. It's neat, and it is $15,000.
Ah, oh well.
If it was a manual, ZK would be having a conniption right now. But but it's pretty neat.
Pretty neat.
I'm
So
sure
you
the
brought a
Europeans
Reliant.
will tell us.
You brought a Reliant. I'm bringing you a Renault.
Oh my God, it's a Dacia.
A 1976 Renault R12. It Renault went parked a few years ago. Needs carb work and brake work. Nice, rare car project. I've accidentally brought all the rare.
Just rare.
Yeah.
Is that the way? Is
Also,
this,
that green color.
Is it? It's a Dacia, is it not? Like this is a PUBG Dacia.
It looks like it. It probably is.
Oh,
From
look
this
at that
angle.
roof line. That's it, right? Mm-hmm.
Those
Mm-hmm.
wheels.
How much is it?
Probably more. Than,
Oh,
they want
they can't-
$8,500
Aw.
for this.
If they
Pinecone
took
covers.
a zero off that, I'd be having Kurt do things right now.
Renault.
That's
That's
when
interior.
when there is buildup of pine needles that is shadowing the windshield, you got problems. there's not a lot of recovering. Honestly, doesn't look super rusty. Hey, it's got keys.
It's got keys.
Is that 67,000 or 6,000?
I think it's 67,000.
Yeah, I don't think there's any decimal.
I love these lights. That's just like a radial dial of idiot lights. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
There's
Headliner
all the weather
intact,
stripping that was
passenger-
keeping the weather out.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Belts? I don't know what.
I'm gonna need this, Kurt.
Mm.
I don't care if I just have to leave it in my front yard.
It's weird because it looks like obviously it's been left in the woods, but I need to see the floorboards.
Mm.
'Cause
Right.
It doesn't.
It looks very
that-
weathered, but not horrible. Oh, I love these with the belts on the backside.
Mm,
ZK hates it, but I love
Oh,
like
it.
a
yeah,
Saab.
I didn't notice that.
it's like a Saab.
Yeah.
Does that mean it has a chain drive?
No, I
Down
think
to
it.
the
I think it
bottom.
has a very normal style transfer case.
Yeah.
Other than the weathering, it looks very complete and
Electric fan.
and yeah, I need it, Kurt.
Okay.
Yeah, we can paint it orange, right?
Sure.
Yeah, easy peasy,
Easy.
piece of cake. I think I have
sure
a
it'll be
little like die cast of one of those in my office.
I don't remember which one this was.
You've said that to all of them, ZK.
I only put these together like an hour ago. It's been rough over here. Oh, a 1952 Triumph Mayflower.
Is it
Finally
though?
decided it's. I don't know what Triumph Mayflower is. Finally decided to sell this car after owning it for years. They only made from 49 to 52. Extremely rare over here because they were made in Britain. Blah, blah, blah. I got some stuff for it. It's missing some things, but it's also this awesomely stupid, great, bad shape that is the best.
It's Wreckfest status.
Yeah.
Mm.
What just like
Yeah, what was happening in Britain in
Yeah.
the early 50s? Also, it doesn't have taillights.
it does not. But it's also
You just get a couple of
it's-
those magnet ones for the bumper.
It's like 3 different cars merged into one.
Yeah, it's like awkward teen era of
Yeah.
automobiles. It's because it's got the stupid. I say stupid, but the like kind of boat front
Mm-hmm.
of like the early 40s cars and everything. But then it has like swoops on the side, and they don't match up.
No. It's like if you imagine this line coming down from the fender being like a Jaguar, like something
Yeah.
like or an MG or something like that. And then you cut it right here and you stuck a taxi cab in it, like
Like in the middle.
right? It's super
Yeah, they had-
bizarre.
They had different teams, each designing the fenders, and then the cab, and then the engine cover, and then the trunk area. They put it all together.
I can't wait for
Yeah.
the Brits to tell us how wrong we are.
The guy in the ad says that he finally like drug it out of the barn, or I guess the field that you can see off in the distance, to work on it. He put some brand new tires on it, and he was like, "You know what? Nah."
Nah.
I'm good.
Yeah. I can see
mean,
why.
It's missing a bunch of stuff, but it's also not horribly rusty. Like,
Well, that's weird. Like that brake lever
yeah, I don't
goes
know
to
what
the
that is.
floor instead of the firewall.
I thought that was a cane.
Oh. I mean,
Yeah.
like the actual pedal, the foot
Yeah,
pedal.
the actual pedal.
Oh,
that's an old car thing. Like the master cylinder used to be under the floorboard, not on the firewall,
Yeah.
which is annoying.
Especially when they're all rusted together and you can't get them out.
Tiny
So
little
that's
engine.
the weirdest shaped radiator. I think
Oh, that's a big tank for the radiator, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
You think you just pour a little two-stroke gas in there and
Yeah. it'll be
fire
fine.
right up?
Mm-hmm. Luckily, all the wires have already become smoke, so not much wiring to do.
I think it needs just those 3 wires that are left.
Yeah. Well, you don't even have to worry about the taillight wiring.
Yeah, no interior lights, no headlights.
All right.
I'm happy to report, based on the Wikipedia, that the Mad Lads down in Australia took that and made a Ute version.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Triumph Mayflower.
I
And
need
it
to
looks
see
better.
this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to post pictures for us on that one. Okay, it is time to review last episode's best find of the week, where Kurt had a very too close to being a Bentley, not a Bentley. What was it again? Was it a Chrysler?
I think we
I think
determined.
that's
it was a
what we
Chrysler.
determined.
Chrysler. I had truck, and ZK had Hot Wheels fiberglass, and probably burning to death in a canopy. And the winner is truck. What I really love is it wasn't even the truck that like drew me to that. It was the weird topper. And then a week after the show came out, I found somebody selling just the topper. Like they bought the truck from the ad and then were selling off that topper separately.
Yeah, because it was a completely different person.
Yeah.
Different, like, it was a whole new ad.
That's a first for me.
They wanted like a lot of
They
money
wanted-
for just the topper.
Yeah, they wanted a
Because I
ridiculous
would
amount.
be interested in that weird wild topper, but not for like $8,000 or whatever.
Is
they
it your
wanted.
bed? Is your bed a 6-foot bed? Yeah, I guess
I
it's a
don't
6
know.
foot because it's not a crew cab; it's a club cab.
It's an extended cab.
Yeah. Okay.
King cab.
This time, wait, how we doing? 18 mil. We're doing so good, man. That bread's gonna be not burnt at all.
Nope.
All right. I bring to you basketball.
I'm gonna just leave now.
This is the
I couldn't find
2003
anything weird this week.
Chrysler Town and Country basketball van. You get no
Why?
respect driving a minivan. I always say if you live in Indiana and you don't convert your van into a basketball van, then you don't love basketball. NBA logo with China map and Wuhan dot. What does that mean? 2003 Chrysler Town and Country LX front-wheel drive 6-cylinder 4-door auto. I love that they just go into like what the van actually is after the insanity. After they've proven that they have no sense. And if you need more proof of that, please continue to look around the basketball van. Do you know much about basketball?
I don't think a basketball is a van, though.
If
Yeah,
you,
I don't know that there's a minivan involved in the sport.
if you think it's bad,
Oh,
it doesn't get any
what if
better.
somebody took away their trophy?
I think this might be like a in progress. Like this is early. This is
You can see the overspray on the floor.
you can, yes, you can in fact see the shadow of this becoming the basketball van.
Oh,
Yes,
the basketball lights up.
the basketball lights up. There is also this scoreboard.
Only won by 1 point.
There's still 8 minutes and
Oh,
29
there's still 8
seconds.
minutes. So much can change in 8 minutes.
And they like Skittles?
Yeah,
Those are huge bags of Skittles.
I know. Are they just dragging them behind like a wedding car?
I assume
Skittles
this is
are
like
flying everywhere.
tailgating or something like that. I don't know,
don't-
man.
I don't know. This feels like an in joke between a friend group that just got out of hand.
And then they sold it, ZK. Like that's the
Trying to sell
true.
it. Trying to.
True. Very, very valid. And like, what in the heck happened to this side? Why does it have skin? Like, why is there an additional layer?
Of like construction paper. It looks
Yeah,
like.
I don't know,
I want to
man.
know where the sketch in the lower right was going before they gave up on this. Is that like a man
It
with a
looks
basketball
like
head
when
playing video
you're
games?
just like sketching out a figure drawing, like
Right.
just the outline.
But it's a man, and his head is the basketball. Is he dribbling a little man?
All right, final thing I need you to like put your eyeballs on is the steering wheel cover.
No.
And
Oh.
that's
We'll do no such thing.
and that is the basketball van.
Hmm.
Is that side of the country okay?
No.
All I was finding this week was like old, like muscle cars just rusting in fields. That's all it was everywhere.
I have weird and wacky best of
Actually,
stuff.
not even muscle scars. Like
Muscle scars. I've got those.
Muscle scars.
At one time, I had a
Um,
muscle. Oh, buddy.
Kurt, you're the most swole out of all of us. You can just shut up.
Uh,
Well, I'm sure.
So
I'm
I'm
sure
glad-
West Coast is still wacky.
it's still wacky, but I went the other way here. I'm the yang to your yin.
Soccer.
Here. Yes. Soccer. No, I found something that's genuinely like unique and interesting. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I'm going for the best of
I'm hurt.
this week, and I'm afraid it's not a Renault, but it's a Renault.
Oh.
A 1969 Renault 8 Major. They want 15 grand. They're looking to find a great owner. You have to apply for this position for their beautiful and rare Renault 8. They're getting married and moving, and they won't take their cars. Due
Okay.
to space. Just due to space. Outer space,
Oh.
vacuum and everything.
Gotcha.
1969, one of a few R8s with disc brakes on all four wheels. Water-cooled rear engine. Rebuilt in Florida. So far as about 500 miles since the rebuild. 4 speeds. It's a slow car since it has about 50 horsepower.
All right,
Brand new
Powers.
aluminum radiator.
I was kidding about the fiberglass monstrosity earlier. This is your destiny.
Yes.
I love the frumpy front bumper grill assembly thing.
Yeah, it's like a bike rack or something that you have on a bus. I don't know
It
what.
reminds me of like orthodontic headgear.
Hmm
Hey, now you're just bringing back flashbacks for me.
Did you
Um,
also have
Stars.
this like angry scowly eyes the whole time?
Of course.
Yeah, oh yes. Very painful.
Based on just this one picture, I don't particularly like it.
I don't hate it. It's neat.
I feel like I should, but I don't.
Yeah, it's too classy of a classic for you.
Probably. It's not.
It is a little bit pinky up in the air,
Yeah,
sort of.
that's what I mean. Like, you have wine and cheese at the places that you bring this car. You want beer and brats.
I'm
Brisket,
curious.
brisket.
I'm now noticing. Are those
Sorry.
3-lug wheels?
They are 3 lug wheels. I mean, if you're looking to swap out your wheels, you could put some smart wheels on it.
That would be dumb.
I From this angle, it looks way sadder, and I love it way more. The world needs more depressed-looking cars.
I think they should just put this on like Bring a Trailer though. I feel like that's how they reach their target audience.
Probably. But they're in the place where people look for this kind of stuff. They got their freaking T2i in the passenger seat over there. Taking their, I mean, maybe they're putting it on Bring a Trailer. Maybe Bring a Trailer turned them down.
Yes, Bring a Trailer is so picky these days.
Yeah,
It's a joke.
it's a joke.
Jokes.
I could probably put the Saab on Bring a Trailer.
Very Spartan interior.
It is Spartan. Rear
It's an air cleaner.
water-cooled engine.
Mm-hmm.
I like
yeah,
Rear
how that
engine, right?
air intake like comes out of this horn in the back.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be a weird thing, having intake and exhaust noise in the same place.
I'm assuming that's the gas cap.
I think that's gas cap. So
So that's,
yeah, you have between you and the engine a gas tank.
don't spill on the hot
Yeah.
engine block.
At least they put
The
the
exhaust's on the other
yeah. At least they
side.
put the header on the other side. It's embarrassed. It's hiding its face.
Look away. Frunk.
I feel like this is good money, or like $15,000. This is a good car for that money. And yeah, if you put it on something like Bring a Trailer, it's probably going to be too much.
True.
It is
But
slow,
yeah,
and you
I
can't
just
fix
thought
it.
it was neat.
It is neat. ZK's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know what the race livery is trying to be, or if it's
It looks
referencing any
yeah.
sort of race pedigree of the Renault,
classic
whatever this was.
rally kind of
Just-
livery.
Stupid.
I hate it. It's worse than Illustrator.
Wait, go back.
Oh.
You can tell it's got that like Illustrator kind of problem, because this hood line just never wants to merge correctly. Like in none of these pictures is this gap correct on the hood. I guess frunk. Okay.
Okay. So, we like wagons, right?
Yeah.
And panel fans, I guess. Same thing. What about a 1958 Edsel sedan delivery? Only $35,000. This is a fabrication of a 1958 Ford Courier and a 58 Edsel Ranger, built on the Edsel chassis with a unique push button in the center steering wheel. Blah,
What?
blah, blah. The Coca-Cola panels.
Is it the horn?
It's unique, Kurt.
Okay.
The Coca-Cola panels are embossed from a Coca-Cola cooler, not just painted. A unique display piece for a front advertising or a serious Coca-Cola collector,
Lost interest.
Coca-Colites, or any other vendor as a swap meet vehicle. Lost interest, too many projects. My dollar loss is your gain. Text only.
Weird.
Weird.
So it's a fabrication. So it's not real? I'm confused.
I hope not.
I think it's a
because I can't live
combination
with
of
this.
two different vehicles.
Yeah, the
The panel
Courier.
Edsel did not exist.
It's a weird thing. Although I do respect using it's the weird screaming Edsel.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, the embossed
use-
metal.
yeah, the embossed Coca-Cola
is cool.
thing. But also, Coca-Cola people are weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why is this a thing? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like people.
specifically Coca-Cola.
Right.
Like, there's like people who have their whole rooms filled with just like
I had that stuff. Like I had somebody,
I know.
like a family friend that was super into Coke stuff, and they would just, that's what they would get us. Like they would get us Coke memorabilia.
And it's just like weird brainwashy
And like
branding.
I like me a Beppis. I probably spend more on Beppis every year than I spend on medical care. But like I don't want to paint my house blue, you know? Like I don't know, it is weird.
Oh, I guess they didn't quite do that quite right. You can see the big dip
There is a
on
dip.
the side
Yeah.
there.
Welding is hard. Sheet metal welding is harder.
Oh, speaking of, here's a cooler with a
Mm-hmm.
Tigger, and there's poo in
course.
the background.
Do these come with?
So those of you listening to the podcast version.
And is that a bag of something behind?
That is a bag of something back there. That's not a coffee bean bag.
Oh, and also this weird doll and lamb chop.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I hate that logo is not centered. Oh, it makes me mad.
Oh wow, yeah, that's way off.
I was talking about this. What's wrong with this? I'm talking about that. Like, oh, what's wrong with Inslate? Where's my tape measure? Where's the illustrator? I'm going to fix this right now.
Put down some guides for us, CK.
Man, what are we going to talk about for the next 5 minutes and 22 seconds?
Just about how Kurt has a bun in the oven.
I do. And we're trying to make this interruption free thanks to Patreon support. I don't want to interrupt things having to check my loaf.
What kind of bread is it even? You didn't even, you just said bread. Like,
It's my bread. It's my signature bread.
Bread.
Gluten-free bread for my sandwich eating.
for my sandwich eating. Well, I guess that's our show then. I guess that is the ads we have to bring you on this not television program.
Hmm?
Thanks for watching.
Are they?
No, don't you got to vote below? For
No.
Oh yeah,
best
vote
ads?
below.
Yeah.
No.
You've already.
Watch us on Spotify.
This one's
'cause
gonna
if
be
we
hard.
Get enough places, people watching or listening on Spotify, then we can get ads and maybe get $1 from doing the show.
Oh yeah, we are still like so far in the deficit on this show. Like we have lost so much money.
not even counting buying the vehicles.
Yeah, I would count buying the vehicles.
Yeah, especially
No, I'm
buying
saying
the vehicles.
yeah, especially.
Is interruption spelled correctly? Is that how you spell interruption?
Yeah, I think so. It's fine. Don't look too close.
It looks weird.
Yeah, it's the current
And these more
between
R's.
UNP
Yeah.
and the not-centered logo. It's fine.
Is it really not centered? Has it always been not centered? What?
It's fine. No. Thanks for watching.
Why are there like 3 different style D's in your name in the URL?
There are that, yeah. Son of, that is not centered. Oh, I'm upset. Yeah, we've sold 115 of these shirts, Kurt.
I don't know that it's the shirt. It's this screen.
No, like because the logo is centered to the screen, like from dirt to dirt.
But the car is more right than like the dirt comes out in front of the car. So it's centered on the car.
I'm upset. I'm upset, everybody. That's
Do you
our
look
show.
like that Renault now.
Yeah, I look exactly like. Hold on, I need the perfect shot of it. Like, it's the. Yeah, that's me. That's me right now. I'm upset. I'm a little mad, but I'm mostly just disappointed. Bye.
Bye.
How do you make Illustrator work?